I am back on the YouTube streets. Yeah, today's video is just to touch base with myself. You guys know that, like, I say this as often as I can, that I'm using my YouTube channel as a space for me to kind of just use it as like a journal where I can express myself, find my authentic self, or draw closer to my authentic self through vlogs and videos, and just use that as like a creative space to journal my life. But obviously I can't say everything I want to say on here because YouTube is not a therapist, but it is some form of therapy, some form of creative therapy that I use as an outlet. I don't even know like what to say exactly, because I know that if like I delve too much into how I feel, I'm gonna be expressing a little too much than I want to. Life's ups and downs, I can't get used to them. I'm struggling with balancing having to do everything by myself, but it's not that. It's like, I'm trying to say this but not be direct about it. I'm struggling with balancing how I deal with life, and how I'm supposed to, you know. I don't think there's like really like there's no to-do list, there's no memorandum, there's no answer paper for this test of all these different tests that come in life. But I think there's like guides, and I think sometimes we choose to use guides and sometimes we don't. And I think for myself, for someone who struggles with asking for help, or sometimes I think I struggle with admitting that I need help. That's what I'm struggling with right now. And I remember in my Amazon unboxing video, I said that I recorded a video where I was just like, I just poured my heart out, and I got emotional in the video. And that's not an issue. Like, who wants to come on YouTube crying? I don't want to do that. That was like just my true emotions of how I was feeling about everything that I've been going through. I posted. I don't think it's something I want to post. I think I want to. I just think it's more about what other people are going to say and think, because it's definitely one of those videos that's like a no on YouTube. Like, no, don't go saying things that are too personal. Don't go telling all your business and all these things. So I definitely poured my heart out on that video, and it's private right now on my video, but I don't know if you guys are going to see it. This is like one of the things I struggle with, is like I'm either too direct or I'm very indirect, which makes it very difficult for me to come in here and express, if that makes sense. It's sometime in March right now, so if you see this, it's probably going to be like mid-April or something, I don't know. But I have to like time my videos because of all the stuff that I have to juggle, because I do have to work, and sometimes like when work comes, I really cannot be on here. Like, I have to focus on work, and so if work takes like months at a time, then that's what it is. Yeah, and I'm also struggling with work. Like, the job that I do here it's not a passion of mine, but it's just definitely something that I've been able to gain working skills with. I've gained quite a lot of skills, a lot of interpersonal skills that I used to struggle with, I gained in this job, and it is something that I am grateful for. I just think that I like control, and I struggle with letting go, because I think that if I let go, everything is going to be out of control, and I won't be able to I'm going to lose myself in it. And I think losing myself in it means I'm going to lose aspects of myself that I use as a crutch. Because when you lack self-control, sometimes it's like, are you too loose and too out there? And what does that even mean? Like, what does that even mean? Like, when people say you're loose, what does that even mean? I get it. There's aspects of yourself that need to be controlled. They need to be like in line with who you are and what you want and what you're looking for in life. But I do think that there's times where it's not even times, it's a life thing. There are things that you can control and things you can't control, and I want to like control everything, because if I don't have control over everything, if I don't try and get ahead of it, I'm going to not succeed. I'm not gonna be good at it. I'm not gonna, like, I'm trying to work things out in my head that don't even need working out, because that's not how life works. And I'm learning the hard way to let go. Like, there's really things I have no control over. Like, sometimes when I'm not working, it's not because I don't want to, it's because there is no work. And that's not to say there is never any work in America. There is always work. I just don't always have the option of working, because sometimes there just isn't any, and then it comes up and then it doesn't, and then you have to like balance how you feel in between all of that. Like, why am I so anxious when I'm not working? Because I know work always comes up. It's not like it's scarce. It's not scarce at all. There's lots of work. When I'm not working, I have to like deal with the anxiety of feeling like, oh my gosh, am I going to get another job? Oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? Oh my gosh, this, oh my gosh, that, money this, money that. Really also brings up like financial anxiety to me, which is so strange, because if there's one thing I am, is financially I don't want to say I'm financially literate, because I don't think I'm all the way there. I'm not. There's quite a lot I need to learn when it comes to my finances, but I'm very secure financially. Like, at home, I'm good. Here I've got an emergency fund, so sometimes I wonder like why I stress so much and why I stress the way I do. Of course, like, I have to deal with like monthly expenses, so I think that does stress me, but my monthly expenses are not hectic. So I've been managing this far. I've been managing for all these months, but I still get intense anxiety. Every morning I wake up at a certain time, and yes, some days I don't, which is okay. You know, I'm also learning to kind of let go of feeling like I'm in control of every single day. Like, if there's times where I don't wake up when I say I want to wake up, it's okay. It happens. Like, these are new discipline styles I'm trying to instill in my life, and I need to be lenient with myself when I don't do it, when I fail. But yesterday was one of those days where I stayed in bed the whole day. I was not okay. I had experienced something very triggering the day before that, and the next day I got up, went to go brush my teeth, didn't even wash my face, did what I need to do in the bathroom, came back, got back into bed, did my Bible, like my God and me time, that's what I call it. And I wasn't even 100% in it, but I did it because that's like a habit that I just have to do. It's like a lifestyle I've picked up, and that's just what it is. And that time is really just for me and God, but it's also just essentially for me to just kind of like, before I get into the day, to not think about the stresses that are ahead of me. It's been working because the habit is kind of like still setting into me, into my nervous system and into my brain. But it's also not been working because I wake up and the first thing I think about is, damn, I gotta work, damn, I need to call this person, damn, I need to do this. Like, it's very stressful, I'm not gonna lie. And essentially what I'm saying is I haven't been handling the stress very well. And above all of that, I've done my room. Like, I think I said in one of my vlogs that I want to like get my room comfortable. I want to get my room to a place where I can just rest, like let it be a space of rest. I don't care how long I have left in the US, how long I'm still going to be here, even if it's just a few more months left. I wanted to create a comfortable space for myself, one that I created. Because when you're au pairing, and for those that don't know, I came to the US as an au pair, and now I'm out of the program and I'm on a different visa. And when you're au pairing, the room is essentially done for you. You can add like aspects of yourself to it, but it's not you. And essentially it's not really your room. I mean, it's your room, but it's not. Now that I'm out of the program, I'm living on my own, I could make the space my own, and I honestly think I did fantastic. Like, my interior design skills and interests are growing by the month. Like, every other month I'm just realizing that I actually have some kind of creativity when it comes to interior design. I don't know if it's something I would want to like dive into fully, but I love decorating and expressing, and I don't know if it's that I like doing it as like a thing, like to make money from, or if it's something I like doing on my own. Because I definitely think when I get my house or an apartment, and when I become the baddie living in the millions, because that has to happen, I think that I'm going to change up my living space often, because that's the type of person I am. I don't like seeing the same things over and over again. So I think like every year I'll probably like change up every now and then how my space looks. Wallpapers, some furniture items, statement items here and there. As you can see, you guys never saw this at the back, so yeah. And I think the reason why I think that way about my living space is because I grew up pretty, I had a very hectic life growing up. And one of the things that made it very hectic was moving. My mom and I have lived in, I cannot tell you how many apartments, how many houses. I cannot tell you on my own how many houses I've lived in. I kind of envy people that have had like that one household they know is like home, because that household for me is my grandmother's house. It's not my mom's house, because we lived in the city, and if you grow up and live in the city, you know, like every other year you're moving, you're doing this, you're doing that, and sometimes that takes you from one place to another. But ours was so inconsistent and so radical, it could just happen with like within the year. I think there was a time where we moved like 3 times in 1 year. I did, and I don't mean houses, I mean like it included like provinces. Like we moved from one province to another to another. That was very stressful for me growing up. It affected me, but I like to also just see the good that it instilled in me. Like right now I can travel on my own and feel good. Like I can it's like packing up and moving is not an issue for me. I do, however, love stability. I think I sometimes force myself to stay in places that do not serve me because I want stability, which is essentially why I stayed at my old host parents' house. I don't know if I should ever like sit down and actually tell that story as to like what happened there, my story, because other people would have their own, other people being that household, but how I was treated and how I felt in that household. It was very toxic, and I just stayed because I think I stay in toxic situations just because I like stability and I don't want to always be moving up and down like I did when I was a kid. It's very triggering to me, like very. The moment something happens where I feel like there's a change that needs to happen, and it's like a moving change. It's like a change of where I have to move from one place to another. It triggers me, and my body, everything tenses up, and I don't feel good eventually. But yeah, going back to the other day, I wasn't feeling well. I just stayed in bed, and I took that day as like a resting day, and I stayed on my phone the whole day. I was watching videos, and I honestly was not even, I'm not going to be upset with myself about some things like that, because I deserved that day to just rest. I went through internal battle. That's what I call anxiety. It's an internal battle. It's like, it's intense. It's like a fight happening with myself that I don't like. This was very all over the place, but I just wanted to come and just express this, just because I want to look back on these days and remember that I was once upon a time in this apartment, in this room, going through the most. And just to mention, the issue that I was dealing with was like it was a legal issue. Nothing bad, nothing too bad, but it was a legal issue, and it was a work issue, essentially meaning it was a money issue. So yeah, that I know that also can trigger other people, and that's why I just come on here to like share, guys, because I know that other people feel these things. They just don't show that side on YouTube, because this is where you come to flex, right? Social media is where you come to flex that, oh, you've made it in life, you're living X, Y, and Z life, you're up in the clouds, cloud 9, it's nice. You come in here when it's nice, not when it's not nice. And I feel like for the purpose of my channel, what it is being built on right now, I have to just be honest with myself about the things that I go through, as honest as I can, because you're not trying to be too open on social media. I should be vlogging something soon. yeah, I should be. Also, I'm missing home a lot. I just almost packed my things up and left, but I decided against it because there is a bigger picture at hand. So I did my room. Don't know if I should show you guys now. I don't think I should. I think like as time goes on, you guys will see the changes I made, but it's looking, I just need a mirror. I was thinking of getting like a rug, but don't want to invest too much into the space because yeah, very soon I'll be packing up to bounce. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.